Firstly, how's Cal Wilkie going?
Yeah, he'll train today. We think he plays. Like, there's no damage. It's just like an upper body corky, really. So, yeah, not an unusual incident, but that can go south, but it didn't. So, yeah, he'll play.
So he'll keep his streak alive, hopefully.
Yeah, based on that information, yeah.
Are you surprised how he pulled up? Obviously, left the game last week.
No, I see players get big hits all the time.
Yeah.
That's the business we're in.
They're
very courageous.
Yeah, of course. How do you replace Messiah, a player like that?
Well, he didn't play last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're pretty strong, we thought. Took probably the last 10 minutes. So it's a squad mentality, next man up mentality. He's in rehab for a few weeks. So, I never think I got anyone all year. It's just the business. You've got to step up, handle adversity.
The way you play, does it change at all? I mean, given how important
No, not one iota.
No.
I mean, some of those big splash plays go missing, don't they? So, but yeah, no, at the end of the day, like we had real opportunity last week. We just got to do it for longer.
And how long is it? Sort of 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's not a set and forget program. It could be earlier, it could be longer. I sort of just hand it over to sports science, Alex Akajan and rehab, and get out of the way, to be honest.
Charlie Banfield, what can you tell us about him?
Well, he's named in the squad. We're not sure he plays or not. Son of Drew, who was a great premiership player and really good person, has made a mark and competes strongly. Big, but we'll see how we go today. There's a bit to work through.
What do you expect from the Tigers? What do you need to watch?
Yeah, well, obviously they've had some challenges like us, but it is the business. They've had a couple of good wins, really strong against Adelaide, and then Adelaide sort of in the end their experience that probably overwhelmed them. I understand they've got a bit injury list, but their midfield's quite powerful. Like Hopper, Taranto and Ross playing really well. Dangerous small forwards, big key forward Tom Lynch, Bolter's really powerful. Vlosten and Broad, hold that younger defence together. So yeah, they're and they got a lot of injuries, but you look at a lot of their senior players are there. Obviously, Nankervis puts them under a bit of pressure. So hopefully our rucks can get to work, but it's all talk until you get out there.
The news during the week where Sydney decided to move their Pride game, how disappointed were you from the club perspective?
Yeah, I haven't got emotional. I'm just a senior coach. I think I'll just take the high ground and let Sydney make their decisions, and I think our CEO has responded. So I'll leave it at C-suite level, and at the shop floor we just got on with business.
Just one on the next 3 weeks. It's a tough stretch. There's some travel involved, some games that are closely linked. How much do you need to sort of manage players over this period?
Well, it's a good theory. It all depends who's available and who's not. Like, you're trying to manage all your training and your availability, so it's an ongoing challenge. Every team has challenges. Geelong went up off a 5-day break, gets it done. We've been looking at it, we'll look at it. And different lists have different capabilities and let you do different things. So, it's a contingency approach. And but as it is today, get the process right, pre-training meet, train well, select the team and focus on the Tigers. We're certainly not looking. We're in the background, we try and future set, so we're not derailed, but we're sort of squarely focused, or I am. I can only talk for myself at this point, on the meeting, coaches meeting, pre-train meet, and then train, and then see what comes out of training.
Just last one from me, which will be the last one, I guess. Just generally in terms of the handball game that we're seeing, from teams like Geelong and Sydney, that sort of fast forward handball. Have you, is that something that's really shifted this year? There is a lot of talk.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a bit of a trend. I think it's been in the game for a while.
Yeah.
Fight forward, handball. Pies had done it. Richmond had done it. I think on the weekend we were really quite high handball metres gained. Really, we sat really high. So, but then everyone talks about Hockball and the Hawks. They're a team that goes back and lateral a lot with handball as well as forward. So, I think to suggest it's one size fits all, you want to be a first mover in some stuff, not particularly just a follower. But the game's opened up. That's the bigger issue, like the stand rule and all those sort of things. The game's opened up. So it's interesting, like all the interchanges were restricted to open the game up. But it feels like to me, first half, I don't know what the numbers take, but there's some big first quarters. We've been involved in them, that Hawthorn-Sydney game. But I think maybe the interchange restriction is limiting the ability to get all the open space now. So maybe rather than a set and forget rule, maybe the AFL dives into, do we unleash the rotation, so to speak, in some of the game, and teams are kicking 120 and 130, 140 points.
So do you think it's a good thing, the way the game's opened up at the moment?
Yeah, I think it's great, but what I'm saying is the old rules that were put in place with the interchange to open the game up with the stand rule and a couple of other things, and automatic back in last touch rule. So you need to be able to run to take advantage of that. So maybe they should look at releasing the shackles. And then the other thing is putting a lot of pressure on players' bodies with that running game. So now it seems intuitively a bit counterintuitive, those restrictions, because the game's open and you need to run, but they're putting fatigue into the players when now you probably don't need to. Now you'd rather have the energy so they can keep running and attacking. But that's just a theory. Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Happy to help.